Hello and welcome to another episode of KOFISI Connect podcast. Speaking to you right now is Simon Karanja. With me in here is my colleagues.
Boys.
Yes, I think I should let them introduce themselves. To my right,
The right is Maingi Kabera.
And to the left of Simon is himself, Mburu.
On today's episode, we are talking on World Photography Day, which is on the 19th of August.
Yep.
Recognizing the importance of cameras, photography. And let me just mention that these two gents with me in here are the best in their field, and that is photography, film, anything.
Small film, maybe like this.
I think I should let them talk. That's just a small intro. I'll let Maingi start and tell us how he got into photography and what got him hooked to it in the first place.
Well, as a kid, I used to draw, so it was an easy transition on my end. I used to draw as a kid, and I used to love the pictures on the magazines. So they were my biggest inspiration to what I was drawing. So I guess from there, I was inspired by the images. So as I grew up, I wanted to take similar images. So I would say that is where I started. Yeah.
I didn't actually start in photography. I started in videography. I had started a YouTube channel to make tech videos and stuff. But along the way, I realized that I cannot possibly make the best tech video because I need these devices with me, which was hard to get at the moment. And I had bought a camera back in the day for shooting videos. So since I wasn't doing videos as much as I wanted, I just got into photography, learned how to take photos, edit photos, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, now I'm doing more or less the same, photos and videos. Yeah.
And talking on that, starting this journey on photography, I started with landscape. I started with phone photography.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting. There are all these apps that I could use to edit pictures on the go. So I was able to share pictures on Instagram, get people's responses. And for me, that was a psych. That's how I started.
The starting point.
Yeah, that was my starting point. And it was quite an interesting one.
Yeah.
How would you describe photography as a skill to you? Or how do you come about improving it?
I'd say for me, it's more of a hobby than a skill. Well, it's a skill because I know how to do it. But for me, I consider it as a hobby because I do it because out of passion, not because I need money or I need stuff. For me, it's more of a hobby. So when it's a hobby for me and the passion is there, you get a chance to learn a better thing to improve the skill itself.
For me, it started as a hobby. And then as I continued, I realized I can make money out of it. Yeah, but I think
you get the chums, eh?
Yeah,
money is important. Of importance is money.
But I think it's it depends. I think I can say photography is a skill and also a talent on how you look at it. It's a skill as anyone can learn. I don't think it's limited to a specific, you have to be a creative too.
That's true.
Yeah, so I think anyone can learn. But now where the talent comes in is depending on the kind of pictures you are taking. So there are people who take pictures which you can tell by seeing it. This is by who, because that is
their way of
their
a particular style.
Their style or something. So I think that is more now where the talent starts to shine more than the skill.
Okay. Like you can have photographers taking a photo of, let's say, this bottle of water. Everyone will take that photo, but in different styles.
Yeah.
I think the talent in the styling comes in there.
To add on that, what I can say is, at the end of the day, pretty sure you guys will agree with me. A photography is a skill. It's always about also doing it every now and then.
Yeah.
When you stop doing it, when you stop, let's say,
it's like
using
a gym. It's like the gym.
It's a muscle.
Yeah.
If you don't exercise it, it will
go down the drain.
But I think more, if you think you are really talented, I think it's first better to concentrate on the skill and then now branch out to the talent. But many people start with the talent and not the skill. So midway you find you are facing challenges because your skill set are not at par with your talent.
That's true.
Yeah, so it will kind of limit you. Yeah.
Like if people who tegemea depend on people who depend on talent alone will be surpassed by those people who are hardworking on the same.
Yeah.
Because also talent needs some work behind the scenes.
There are different types of photography styles, yeah?
Yeah.
Which one do you say currently you identify with?
Lifestyle for me.
Okay.
I think I can call it the art of living. It's different every time. It's a different occasion every time. It's a different group of people every time. It's just different every time.
What about you, Maingi?
Okay, I've taught myself almost everything in the field. I don't begin. There's no way I'm
So you've pretty
flat-footed.
much tried different types of projects.
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can say I focus more, or I say more. I am a commercial, lifestyle, and editorial photographer.
Okay.
So the three: commercial, lifestyle, and editorial.
I think in my case, I'm always stuck on landscapes.
Landscape.
That's something I love. And I mean, the times I'm hung up, I miss taking pictures of certain things like food or
Like portraits or something.
portraits.
Yeah.
There are times it waves, but landscape is what it's for me. It's art.
I also love landscape because you get to travel.
Yes,
Which
this
I'm
aspect.
passionate about traveling and exploring new places. So also landscape pale small. I am in.
I don't know where to draw landscapes because I take landscapes, and also I have sold landscapes as prints.
Yeah.
So I think I'll just draw landscape up under commercial.
Do you have a particular photographer that inspires you? It could be now, could be when you started, or somebody's work who you find inspires you.
I have a couple of, but top of my head is Peter McKinnon from Canada.
Peter's work is really good.
Yeah, I like his style of editing. Not over the moon or something. It's just subtle, but you can see the difference. You can tell, you can just come across a photo online and just see the bitterness of the photo. Yeah.
So he's a pioneer in what he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
He does great stuff.
If you're listening to this, the gentleman is seated here in this table. Well, they might as well be standing. They're pioneers in their field. I know they have people who look up to their work. Maingi, who inspires you? Who would you say whose work could be local, could be international?
I think it depends in the mood and the moment I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah, my inspiration changes from time to time. When I started, you say I used to go through magazines and everything. I couldn't quite tell who it is, but I was also inspired then. Right now, I can say I'm inspired by, top of the head, I think I would say Felix Kunz. I really like his lighting styles. And the other person I think is Sue Bryce. Those are the people who are currently inspiring me.
So we're talking about inspiration. When you're being inspired by someone, how do you try to incorporate what they're doing? Because I figure most of these people have tutorials online, or as a photographers, you can tell how they've placed their lighting. You can kind of tell how.
Yeah, you can map it in your head.
So I figure you kind of borrow their styles, and maybe, because that's what I do when I say somebody is inspiring me. I kind of borrow from what they're doing, trying to add to my workflow.
Yeah.
It could be camera work, could be editing style. On that note, I'd say, both of your works inspire me. I won't lie. And internationally, there's Peter McKinnon. I've watched a lot of his tutorials.
Yeah.
There's this guy called Kal Shakur. This guy's work is nice. With photography, I figure a frame should tell a story. Even if you're given one frame to represent maybe something, I figure whoever will look at that frame should tell them a story, should tell them what you're trying to communicate to them.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I think also inspiration doesn't necessarily have to be about the style that a person does and everything. It also can be about his skill set. Also, it can be about his structures, the way he has structured also his business. Yeah,
and an entrepreneur kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the end of the day, this has to pay your bills if you're doing it full time.
Yeah.
Okay. Any challenges you face as a photographer? Most people nowadays have a camera in their phone. Do you think this will soon take photographers out of the market? That's just an extra note. But on that, what are some of the challenges that you face as a photographer?
Personally, it comes to the law that's in place. Let's say in Kenya, the law that's in place, maybe if you are seen shooting your own content outside maybe a bank or a police station, they'll always be suspicious. They will be like, you're trying to do something evil, you're trying to be just, you're not there for any good. I think they should change that at least. When you have accreditation, let's say from Media Council of Kenya, you can show like you're doing this content for you, for someone else. At least make some of these laws at least
more lenient for photographers.
Yeah.
Okay, because tumesumbulia huko nje by the
Okay, going by the question and also by if phones are going to put out of business, I'll say, okay, as a photographer starting out, okay, gear is not cheap. Yeah, and good gear, let me say, but good gear is not kind of cheap. So you can use what you have, and part of what you have is the phone. Because I think almost everyone has a smartphone or a phone with a camera. So you can work out with that. And then when you get the manual, have the camera now, you can move to the next step.
Do you think AI will replace photographers?
That's a tricky one, but my thought on that is, at the end of the day, you'll always know a human's eye. You do need that camera to capture real life. AI will come up with digitally generated images.
One of the things I can say is, as a photographer, it's your eye. It's you who can say what you want. So even if AI comes, AI can't just generate an image out of nothing.
It can.
Yes, but
I mean,
it can generate an image out of nothing, but let's say you need a picture of a landscape. You can't just tell the AI, I need a landscape. You, being a photographer, you know something you've seen, you have there and everything.
Yeah.
You are better, much suited to guide the AI to exactly what it is that you want. So even if AI comes, I think even as a photographer, that's also another channel where you can look.
So we put it as a tool, as an extra tool in the bag.
Yeah, just like a camera. Now, even with there, I think it's much better because I don't have to go all the way to up the mountain to take this beautiful landscape. I can just generate it right in my living room. And
speaking of that note, there's this new website. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's called Midjourney, and there's still another one called Dolly. So these are AIs online that you can just go and input a descriptive phrase, and it will come up with the image instantly.
Yeah.
So pass it to give you a variation.
So
like a blue one.
Yeah.
Like a
you can upscale. You can choose whatever you want. You can tweak it, but the AI is you just input. So I think the first jobs that maybe that has
considering it's the first generation of the
also
AI.
You can use it as a guide. Also, I don't know.
With
my thought is in the future. Yeah. You see, like right now, like I will choose. Let me say I'll talk about now cars. I know I'm digressing, but it's the same thing. Like you see, like Mercedes, they have the AMG version where the engine is hand built. So when you're buying the car, you know this engine is hand built by this, so you appreciate it because a lot of things are automated.
Yeah.
So even if AI overruns everything, you as a photographer, your images also in the future, if you are better at your craft, will sell even more because this is a real image by a human photographer. It's a generated image.
See what you mean. What are some of the achievements you've had so far in the field of photography or film? Because I understand that both of you gents have also taken up projects on film, not just photography.
I say biggest one. Biggest one yet. I was featured in an Italian magazine called Metro something.
What was the project about?
Landscape. Interesting enough.
Nice.
It was a cityscape of Nairobi, and they loved it so much they put it as the cover page of the magazine. Plus also some other few of them I kept.
I think that's a hard one because you always look at
Maingi, billboards huko nje.
Man's shining on billboards.
when you look at yourself most of the time, I think you we mostly judge ourselves very harshly, so you can't even like say like I've achieved. But yeah, I know it's been a journey. I think my one of my biggest was shooting the radio profile images for Capital FM.
Whoop, whoop.
They gave me the go ahead to just be me. As a client, the client trusted me to do whatever it is. Like I did it with some neon lighting, and most companies wouldn't agree to that. So yeah, so I think that was a big
That project
achievement.
was pretty dope.
Yeah, it was my biggest achievement.
And the fact that I've seen it,
they
guys,
trusted me.
Yeah, it was quite something.
Yeah, thank you.
Plus also those photos are still being used today.
Up to
this day.
Up to date,
Yeah.
as you're speaking.
Yeah.
I'd say a project that still lingers in my mind up to date. There's this project I did for a company called Salomon. It's a shoe company.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go to Mount Kenya, follow up some athletes. Oh man, that was fun.
How was it?
It was just a new experience, you know. Let me just leave it at that. It was just a good experience. The pictures just speak for themselves.
I saw some of the photos. You know, you can tell that's Mount Kenya.
Mount Kenya is beautiful, guys.
You look at the photo and you're like, is this like Switzerland? Is it like somewhere in Europe? But those photos.
If you haven't been to Mount Kenya, please make a point.
Yeah.
Also, the thing about you is you have the eye. Someone can take a picture and you wonder like, why didn't I see this? Like, Simon with the angles. You say.
Shukran. What do you think are some of the game-changing innovations in photography?
I can say tech. Tech is improving by the day. We get more high-resolution images next years to follow. Like every year there is an improvement either in the tech in cameras mostly, and also the softwares are doing more than they did like 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Like for example, Lightroom 10 years ago or 5 years ago, let's say 5 years ago, because I've used it for like 5 years. And when you look at it now, there is so much difference. You can actually rebuild a photo. You can heal skin. You can remove pimples. You can do a lot of things that you couldn't do back then. So I think also the equipment in terms of hardware and the software, I think they are also changing.
And they're also getting more user-friendly.
More user-friendly, like one button to do a bunch of tasks. You can just do some actions with just one click. In Kitambo, you could do it in multiple clicks. Like they've done the user experience
More easier.
Yeah.
So you have things like presets, LUTs.
Yeah.
So if you have the same picture with the same look, you can just apply it again.
Boom.
I'll say the biggest is AI. Like phones, even smartphones. Like smartphones nowadays have a portrait mode.
Yeah, and it's based on software only.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I would like to see how that applies to cameras. Also, the night mode.
Yeah.
I would love to see how that would apply to a camera.
With this particular question on innovation in photography, do you think that as time goes by, you don't have the need for a DSLR? Because phone cameras are getting so good. I don't know if you've seen pictures with the new iPhone.
I guess I'm the only one who uses a DSLR here.
As a photographer, I mean, it does.
You guys are basically mirrorless, so I think I'm the only one who uses a DSLR. So I think with mirrorless technology, I guess we'll get to see most of these things. I think it will. I think with mirrorless, it might happen.
Because I feel cameras are also getting smaller by the day.
Yeah. Smaller and mightier.
Smaller and mightier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the camera also, the glass is part of the camera, so there is no way you can replace the glass, the lenses. You can resize the body, you can resize the sensor. So unless they come with like an AI or something which can
be part of the camera.
Okay.
Which can make even the glass to be different. I don't know. You don't know what the future holds.
Yeah.
What do you think is the future of photography?
Just taking more photos.
Good.
Just clicking.
Edit, shoot, repeat.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the only future.
I'm an amateur. I've never taken a picture before. I've come to you.
Yeah.
Please help me. What are the factors that I should consider?
Framing, like put your subject somewhere in the photo. Put your subject in the photo.
Already class 10, umeshasahau.
I would say my first consideration is usually the lighting. If I see the lighting now, I'll know where to place the subject. I think now it's easier to talk about lighting because people take selfies now. Yeah, even if someone is taking a selfie, you'll see them like, okay, where is this light is not working. So like now, if you tell someone the lighting is not okay, they will understand exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's like saying iPhones will take very nice photos like during the day, like on sunlit backgrounds or something.
Yeah.
Then you can say maybe another phone, maybe a Samsung, will equally do the same without not as good as lighting as like the sun or something. Also, that will determine what you're using to take the photo. First of all, what you're using, if you're using a phone or a camera, that will determine the next step, your lighting and stuff, all those things.
And on that note,
Yeah.
what determines a good location?
Concept.
A location could be a built-up set. A location could be an actual place. What's your take on that?
Concept you have in mind.
Exactly. I think the concept. I
Yeah,
go
So
with
the concept determines the location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
And to take it away a bit from photography, and as a photographer, you, as Maingi, Abu, me, exact. What are things that you do to help make photography easier? For example, most people don't know that if you're editing pictures, let's say for a big event, you have to spend hours on your computer.
I think, first of all, I have a workflow. Like if I shoot, let's say a wedding, tonight I'll back up the footage and like arrange it in terms of date and month and year or the project itself. Then double back up that. Like first of all, I just do a whole comprehensive backup flow of the shoot that I've been to.
Okay.
I think that's one. Another one, I don't exercise because shooting itself is exercise on its own.
Okay, true. That I can very much verify.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all. And also, I think I like learning also from other photographers. So from them, I can pick up a skill which can make my work easy. You can pick up a skill which they do, which will find makes your work also partly easier. Yeah. So don't stop learning. You have to keep on learning. I'll say what I do right now is more like accumulative of what I've learned over time. Also, there is the workflow now part of it.
And do you have any last parting shots as we conclude?
I have a
this
question
podcast?
for you guys. What's your perfect run and gun combo?
Perfect run and gun, and this will come in hand in any situation for me.
Give me a body and a lens.
Sony-
Just a
You have
body
to
and a lens.
specify a body armor.
No, you don't have. Give me your perfect, like
The one I've used before that comes in handy, A7, a Sony A7 III, and a 24-70 G Master lens. That's
2.8.
2.8. That gets me everywhere. Anything, video, photography, whether that will get me almost not everything I need, but pretty much something to come up with something with content.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say, okay, me, I'm a Nikonite, so I would go with the D780, which is my current body.
Yeah.
D780 and 3585 combo.
That's nice.
What about you?
I'm a Sony shooter, so the same. A7 III body, 2470 G Master. Perfect combo.
Am I the one who is using primes here? Yeah, 3585. I'm good.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. This has been a very interesting session.
Thank you for having
Photography
us.
is a beautiful and intricate art. Yeah. And it's been loving and talking and celebrating this day with you. Let's look forward to even doing more projects. That's what I'd say.
For sure.
And,
Yep.
Where can they find you?
you can find me on Instagram. Just Simon is the
Handle.
on all social platforms. Anyway, just Simon.
Okay.
Maingi Kabera. Maingi _ Kabera on every socials. Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm Mburu everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, to go.
Awesome.
Email.
To go Awesome. Wazi.